What's up, everybody? It's your favorite officer of the law's favorite nerd, and today we are looking at Maketoys Street Smarts or something. I don't know. It's their Streetwise. I like him, you know, not without his issues, and we'll talk about that, but I do like him, and we'll find out exactly why. But let's just go ahead and get started. So he comes with 2.5 accessories, we'll say. 2 guns, you know the next line, and then with the little hollow bits in there, which is somebody pointed out to me that they've been doing from day one. So I guess they're not. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about that too, but we'll get there. You can combine them up for later on, but they do that. They're both single cast, kind of cheesy, to be honest. Accessories, definitely the type that look like they're supposed to do something else than be his proper guns. As you could see, he holds them just fine, and he comes with this sticker sheet. And they go underneath underneath. One of them goes underneath here, and then the other 2 go underneath there, so that the translucent has something to sit up against, make the colors more vibrant. I haven't done it yet, but that's where they go. And now we'll talk about him. So the head is on a ball joint. It is a bizarre design choice here, to give it like the one little horn and not the other one. Like, I had to check the box to make sure that I wasn't going crazy, because at first I thought that I had, gotten a messed up one. But, nope, that's right. And then red paint on the little crest there, and then the silver paint on the face and blue, and it all looks fairly good. It does look, it is throwing me off, I gotta be honest, that not having that second horn. It is throwing me for a loop. But whatever. The shoulders are on ball pegs on a hinge. The hinge gets you up to there, and then the ball peg gets you all around. And it doesn't, I mean, there's some kibble up in here that beats against his head from time to time. But outside of that, the articulation is pretty solid there in the shoulders. And the ball joint does work well for being a ball joint. Bicep swivel that is extremely tight. So use caution there. Double jointed elbow. Getting you way past 90 degrees, and then the wrist is on a ball peg as well, so you get a little bit of the slightest bit of tilt, and then the swivel. Same for the other side. Paint wise, you got black on there and red on there. They actually have done some paint on this fella. Silver and black and red on that piece as well, and then the silver finish on the wheels, which looks nice. Same on the other side. Torso, you got the nice breakup in here with the different color translucents, which actually works pretty well, and then you got the white paint on top of it, and then the silver bits for the windows. Waist swivel, no issue there. The back cleans up really well. No real complaints there. The pelvis, not a lick of paint. And then you have T-jointed ball joints for hips that get you everything you could possibly want. Articulation wise, and thigh swivel, not a lick of paint on the thighs, and then a soft ratcheted knee that gets you way past 90 degrees. Ton of paint down here on the legs with the tamper paint for the symbol there, and then the black, the red, the blue, silver. I mean, there's a lot of paint apps down in there. The sheriff on the back looks really good, looks really sharp. I like it. I can get behind it. And then for the feet, perfectly articulated with the hinge, and then the ball joint getting you the rocker. So the tilt is on the hinge, and then the ball joint gets you the rocker. And you can, if you can't get the pose you're looking for, I think I can say with some confidence that it's on you. Transformation wise, it's actually more fun than usual, but not without its not without its Maketoys issues going on. So start with the head, turn that around 360 so that he's facing the backside there. Open this up, spin this around. Now, this should allow you to push the head all the way down. make sure you get that out of the way. And you have to spin this in order to do it because it's on this bit here, which you can use to bring it back up when you're transforming him back. Just remember that because it ate me up the first time I did it. And then, let's see, so then get the arms up here, and you can kind of see already how that's going to play out, right? And then we'll start working on the feet. We'll just get that out of the way. There's a lot going on up there, and there's these sliding bits, and they're kind of a pain. We'll talk about it. The foot, these pieces here, you can get that out of the way. It's a cool idea.
You know what I like the most about your reviews?
What's that?
That you always keep the figures so intact.
So Maketoys recently, like within the last, I think I started noticing it with Utopia. They really like these sliding pieces. So you have to slide this and then rotate that around and then slide it back. So they really like these sliding pieces, and a lot of times it lends itself to give you some really cool toys. But the problem is that I feel like the sliding bits are rarely toleranced well with their products kind of across the board. You see I'm struggling down here. Just, you know, I'm not a big fan of sliding pieces, but if you're going to have them, they should be done right, and I feel like a lot of times they're not. All right. Spin the waist. And then this, you have to really make sure that this is squared up, because all this starts to kind of peg into one another later. And we can actually kind of start working on that now, I guess. Bring the foot up. And make sure you're set yourself up for success there. And all this kind of tabs in, but you got to make sure it's lined up really well, or you'll have problems later on. There, that's right. And then we'll do the other side. What you're doing is connecting the pelvis. There.
And you always seem confident and sure, like you know what you're doing.
Make sure all this is tight. And then I think you can go ahead and close this down as well. Alright, now the arms are kind of their own beast. So there's this piece in here that comes untabbed. Mine, I have one that's easier than the other. And then this slides as well. You gotta kind of...
I mean, you never have pieces popping off.
I just had to do it like 2 or 3 times in order to get it loose. So slide that there, and then slide this white piece down.
Have I mentioned how you never have pieces popping off?
There. Not my favorite thing in the world. And you see my hand fell off and I don't have it.
And you never ever forget things.
We'll try it on the other side to see if it's better. This is the one thing that I really dislike about the transformation. So, untab that, slide that down, and then you just kind of got to rock that piece back.
Things just always go so smoothly for you.
Are you with me? Yeah. Not my favorite bit of business there. And then lastly, bring these side doors up and tab them in. And there it is. Alright, so you can tab in these guns into the sides here. It's a really tight fit. I don't recommend doing it. It's not worth it, and I think you're going to chip black paint like I have there around the edges. So I don't suggest doing it. It's not worth it. Who wants guns hanging out the side of their car anyway? It's silly. But yeah, rolls just fine. The sheriff and all that stuff looks good. The black on top looks good. Like, looks very, you know, like a modern-ish, but a very, like, reminiscent of the Streetwise from G1. I like it. I think that the accents and everything looks good. It would have been nice if that was silver up in there too, but all in all, a pretty good looking car while being quite small. I mean, he's a little fella. Let's do a size comparison. And there it is next to the Combiner Wars Dead End mold. So as you can see, this is significantly bigger. Size comparison wise, there he is next to the Maketoys Groove. And the Groove still looks a little weird to me, but you know, it is shaping up to be a fairly cool looking set. He's a little weird. You know, I've said that from the beginning, and I'm not taking it back. But it does. You know, he looks less weird maybe with another guy with him, but it is shaping up nicely. And then here he is next to the Combiner Wars effort. With my little custom paint job. If you want to know how I did that, it's on the video for that fella. Otherwise, you know, I mean, this is what it is, right? But just to give you an idea of size. Final thoughts wise, most of this guy is good to go. The only issues are because of the ball peg sitting into the ankles. Like when you clear it to there, that's as far as she's gonna go. You know, but the hinge helps. So I haven't had any kind of trouble getting him into a pose that I've wanted him in. Just pointing it out that it could potentially pose a challenge. And obviously the other issue is the transformation, and it's not that it's impossible. It's just it's not fun. One of the things that is a contributor to that is the fact of all the sliding pieces. If you're going to have sliding pieces, you got to make sure they move very fluidly, and not all of these do. It's the same like with the biceps. It's kind of weird for Maketoys not to have these tolerances ironed out, but like the biceps don't move quite right. And it's the same with those sliding pieces. Like if you're going to incorporate that into your design, it needs to move fluently to be enjoyable. And that's one of the big issues here. Is it's frustrating. There's not a lot of clearance around certain things, so when stuff's not moving the way it's supposed to, it really becomes aggravating. Outside of that, the only other thing that I would point out is what is going on there? You know what that makes me think of? Now, I'm going to look at some of the other ones real quick, and I'll let you know if this is typical for them or if this is new. Now, I just did a brief look at their Computron Menasor from Fans Project and Giant, and I didn't see anything that resembles that. I hope they're not picking up bad influences. I would hate to see that. Now, this figure doesn't feel light and the materials feel good, so that's a plus, but I can't help but notice that. Anyway, I don't even see that on Groove, really. So, something worth pointing out. Otherwise, this figure's pretty great. The paint is fantastic where it is applied, and it is applied in most places. The action figure element is second to none. Like, I have been messing with this guy nonstop. The transformation is one of their better ones. Now, I know that ain't saying much, but it is saying something. It is a breath of fresh air. It's just that one aspect that really chews you up. But this guy's fun. He's a lot of fun. Now, he's a little smaller. He's not going to fit with your proper Masterpiece shelf, I don't think, anyway. I'll wait till I've formed a fence store. I'm just a sucker for these combiner teams. I can't help myself. But, I mean, I even got the Hasbro ones. You know what I mean? But I think that, all in all, if you enjoy the Protective Bots or you like combiners or you like a chug scale, this is a really fun figure. It's a little pricey for what it is, but it's a really fun figure and it's a very enjoyable figure. So I recommend it if you're a fan of the Protectobots, or if you have a Chug collection. It's a pretty good effort. So, and it's, I mean, as far as today's third party, it's not that pricey. It's just that you can get the Hasbro one for $15, but I mean, it is night and day. Do you know what I mean? But outside of that, I can't really say anything more about it. He's a pretty cool looking figure, and I got a good feeling about this combiner. So we shall see. If you don't have a Chug collection, I wait and see what MMC is going to do, because that's probably going to end up being my proper defense war once the smoke clears. Do you know what I'm saying? But we'll wait. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.